Welcome YouTube friends and family to today's different edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So this morning I decided I was going to make some beef bone broth, say that 3 times fast, and I had no intentions of doing a video, but I thought, you know what, let me bring you along because bone broth has so many health benefits. I thought you all might want to make it for yourself. Stay tuned. To start out with, I'd like to share with you some of the benefits of bone broth. So I'm actually using a cheat sheet, my iPad, so that I don't forget anything and I don't have to write it down. And one of the things about bone broth is it is so nutrient rich. It's a high protein food that provides minerals like calcium, phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. And we may be missing those in our daily diet, particularly with the high processing today of food. That's kind of why soup was always a cure for a cold or when you were sick, because that broth does have a lot of added nutrition. It can also help protect your bones because it has gelatin in it, which breaks down as collagen, which is needed for healthy joint pain, healthy joints, which I need for my joint pain. It may help reduce inflammation and heal the gut. So today we have a lot of irritable bowel problems in the world. Just watch the television with all the commercials for the new medications. And it also says it may help improve your mood. I'm not gonna go into that too heavily, but it's also weight loss friendly. So I was doing a little perusing this morning about some of the health problems that I've been having. Y'all know I'm struggling with my back, and yeah, I'd be drinking some chicken bone broth. Whew, it's smoking hot. So good. And I love soup, so that helps. So whether you're wanting to use it just to add flavor to your dishes, to add some nutrition to your family for a weight loss plan, I thought let's make some this morning. So here we go. It's super simple. So what I have is, and these are frozen, some beef soup bones that I purchased from the Amish store a little while ago, and I thought, wow, it's probably time I get those cooked. So let me show you this away. They are big bones, and I've taken a baking dish sheet, and I have lined it with heavy-duty aluminum foil, and I'm also sprayed it with some non-stick cooking spray. And these are so frozen, I'm just going to put it in the middle. Now to that, you want to coarsely chop up a couple stalks of celery, because this is all going to add a lot of flavor to your broth, but we're going to roast them first. Now, I have washed everything. I just haven't necessarily chopped it. All of my homegrown carrots, I actually canned, so I don't have any homegrown carrots, so I'm using some baby carrots. And you just put it around your meat. And then I have one not real large onion that I'm also going to peel off the outer skin there. That's a little wilty. Coarsely chop. Yeah, I might want to do that on this one too. No, I think it's okay. And then just kind of scatter that around the bones as well. I gave my homegrown garlic to my son. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the pre-minced garlic in a jar, and I'm going to spread about 2 teaspoons worth of garlic. It says 5 cloves. That's about the equivalent of 5 cloves. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my oven, and it's fine to cook them from frozen at 400 degrees. Sorry, y'all are shaking. I moved the ring light. At 400 degrees for about 45 minutes until things get brown and caramelized. I'm actually going to be doing this in the Instant Pot. So if you think like I've been thinking, I have this Instant Pot and I hardly ever use it, well, here's your chance. Stay tuned. Y'all, I don't know what happened. Something happened. My video isn't there. So what did I do? I actually added a little bit of, a little too much olive oil, not olive avocado over the top of my veggie and bone, just to help with the browning process because the vegetables were just shriveling up. I have already started the Instant Pot in a beautiful video that I did that I don't know what happened. So what do? So you take all of those good roasted vegetables in your bones, you place it in the pot. Add 2 bay leaves, about a teaspoon of salt of your choice, whether it's sea salt, pink Himalayan, whatever you use. I used some pink Himalayan, and then add about 10 black peppercorns, or to taste, and then 2 bay leaves. Y'all, I had to pay up to get bay leaves because I haven't been able to find them anywhere. These are so tiny. They're like the miniest. Well, okay, that's a big one compared to what's in a lot of what's in here. So I put 4 little ones. You want to cover this mixture with 6 cups of boiling water. Go ahead and do all your checks on your Instant Pot to make sure the vent is open, the seal, the ring seal is intact and in place properly. Turn it to pressure. I've pushed pressure. I am high pressuring this because we want to get all the goodness out of those bones. I did manual, high pressure, 120 minutes. So for 2 hours after this comes up to pressure, we're going to be pressuring those bones. Oh, and I did put one other thing. You want to put a tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. Why? So apple cider vinegar helps, and I've started doing this after reading about it. It helps pull the beneficial properties out of the bones. So yes, hello, that's what we want. So this is not like a short project, but it's a great project. I like to stay near my Instant Pot, but it's a great project if you don't mind putting a little heat in your house from the oven. And also you'll get a little heat from your Instant Pot on these cold winter days. Some of you have let me know you're buried in snow and you're freezing to death, and I feel for you. We've been at kind of unseasonably warm, 40s and 50s. That's very, very warm for this time of the year. It is raining today, of course, because I have my Azure pickup. Of course. It usually rains or snows, or we have torrential weather that involves a lot of wind. So I didn't bother to fix my hair. I hope y'all don't mind. So winter time, my little homestead, and I do consider myself a homesteader because of my lifestyle more than my property. You know, yes, I have chickens. Yes, I grow my own food. But to me, it's a mentality of being self-sufficient. So in the winter, I like to do a lot of indoor projects that I didn't have time for while I was so busy gardening and canning and preserving and freeze drying and building coops and runs and doing all those things. My wonderful neighbors, hi Grace and Scott, I've ordered the new chicken run. It will be here on December 19th. Scott is going to build it, and his son, and I'm really looking forward to it because I feel like it's much more predator proof, so I'm excited about that. So I'm working on a few projects and I need your help. Drop me a comment below. We are going to be doing No Spin January. I have a lot planned for 2023, but I've been working on, just started today, crocheting little sweaters for my girls. Now I know that might be a little over the top, but a lot of you out there have chickens and a lot of you crochet. So drop me a comment below. Would you be interested in a video if I get it figured out? I'm kind of winging it here because their wings have to go through and I don't want anything that they can hang themselves with. So it might be a little different than the ones that you see for sale on Etsy, etc., etc. But my girls need Christmas too, right? So I've been sitting here thinking, wonder which girl I should try it on. And I'm thinking Jolene, because she does like to be held. She doesn't seem to mind so much. And my debate is how I get their wing through the hole that I'm crocheting. But anyway, drop me a comment. Would you be interested in seeing that? Depending on the response I get, I may do it as an extra video, so I'll still have my Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and slide that in if there's a few of you who would like to know how to do it. First, I have to figure it out myself. But I'd like for them to have little sweaters because we do get bitterly cold in January. And my question is, I think my design is good so that they don't poo on it. My question is, what happens if it gets wet? Is that gonna freeze them more? Is it something I'm gonna have to put on and take off? And I don't know, but they're gonna have little sweaters. If I can figure it out. All right, guys, I hear the Instant Pot kind of coming up to pressure. Usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Always when you're using any type of pressure cooker device, I like to stay close. See, I'm running late today. It's 8:45, but this will give me time to get it finished up and depressurized by the time it's time to leave for the Azure haul. So stay tuned. I'll be showing you what we get out of the pressure canner or the pressure cooker. It's not a canner, guys. Don't try to can in an Instant Pot. But until I see you again here in a few minutes, I'm gonna get busy on those chicken sweaters. Stay tuned. So this is probably a mistake on many levels, but Frankie has kissed Fancy Rae, and he was very happy to see her, and yeah, he gets along with her. I was going to try the sweater on, but I'm afraid that when I put her down, I should have put the phone on the ring light first, but let's see. Let's see if we can do this. You're fine. Oh, got it. Look, okay, you gonna tell the people something? Well, what about it? You were going to go to sleep. You were about to sleep. Yeah, you're a good girlie. Okay, no pooping on the floor, okay? No pooping on the floor. Ready? Look, Mama made you a sweater. She did. I'm not sure how it's going to fit, so we got to try it on. Okay? Where's Jolene? Or where's Fancy? Oh, there she is. Yeah. I don't know. You're fine. You're fine. Oh, come back. Come back. Yeah. We gotta get your winnies through, okay? Here, give me your winnie. I don't know. Oh, Mommy didn't make that big enough. Well, let's pull your winnies out. That's kind of good. Look, you got a little sweater. You got a little sweater. Yeah, how's my girl? You like your sweater? Yeah, it keep you warm. Don't you dare poop on my mom's best rug. What do you think, Frankie? You want to come and see Jolie or Fancy Rae? Oh, y'all can't see her. She's just checking everything out here in her little sweater. Yeah, Bocky Bok. What is all this? What is it? Frankie, you want to come and see her? This may be a mistake, guys, but come on, Frankie, you want to go see you can see the baby? Oh, you're the baby, aren't you? I've never had a chicken in my kitchen. Here, look, there's your sissy. Oh dear, that was a mistake. Try a different design. What do you say? Your little heart's just going ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Tell the people hellos. Woo, guys. Do not try this at home. So my idea was, this is sewn together, was to put this over her head, let her wings go through here so the sweater would stay on. I even made a little like tail cover. The wing thing, not gonna work. It's probably gonna be better to, you know, like crochet a hole here if you want the wings to come through. I almost think if I just make it longer and around her neck, it will be good. But she was very happy to be back with her sister. She's like, I don't know what that was all about. I tried to get Jolene, and I had picked Jolene up because she doesn't mind. And Fancy Rae made a break for it out in the yard. And I'm not out there to supervise, so I thought, well, okay, let me put Jolene back and get Fancy Rae. But I did check on Frankie. He's fine. It scared him because I dropped him. We only have, over here, 9 minutes left on our chicken broth. And guys, I want to ask y'all a favor. While all the chicken thing was going on, I'm packing around a chicken and the phone's ringing, and it's the facility where my mom is at. And next Wednesday, I'm going to a care conference because they're going to have to move my mom to memory care, which is specialized care. It's in the same facility, but for folks with dementia. And that is going to separate her from her little best friend. But Margaret really needs a break from Mom. Mom kind of needs a break from Margaret, because the two of them together with memory impairment is a lot. You know, it's a lot. And it's not Margaret's job to take care of my mom. So I would ask if you're so inclined to send me well wishes and some prayers, because this is going to be tough. My mom is going to throw a fit, and I'm going to have to pack up everything and move it, and it's going to be a lot. And yeah, so I would appreciate that. All right, I'm going to wait till this has to depressurize, and let it naturally depressurize. So it's going to take a while to cool down. I am not canning this. With only 6 ounces of water, at most, I'm going to get like 2 quarts, little under. I'm going to consume this fresh because I am trying to consume bone broth to do sort of a reset on my system. It's really good for inflammation, etc. So I'll bring you back to show you what the broth looks like at the end. I hope you enjoyed the chicken adventures. Stay tuned. All right, as you can see, 25 minutes have elapsed, and y'all, no chickens or cats were harmed in that little video. Frankie just slipped out of my grasp and fell on his back, and it scared the chicken, but they're both fine. Oh, guys, what beautiful broth. And I'll show you here in just a minute. Now, you have a couple options. If you want your broth crystal clear with no veg fallout, we'll say, you can strain it through cheesecloth. I personally don't care, and I plan to just drink this like a soup. So let me show you this. How delicious does that look, right? And roasting those bones and veg beforehand just imparts so much good flavor. And I have to tell you, I am not going to waste these beef bones and the meat, so you can see the whole bone just fell off. Yeah, it's kind of hot. So there is quite a bit of meat on these 2 large soup bones, so I don't want to waste that. So I'm straining it off with far too big of a strainer, but y'all, that's the only one I have. All right, here we go. Yeah, so as you see, ouch, the bones are just separating nicely from the meat. This is going to be some good broth. So what could you do with this if you're not into just drinking plain broth? I know my back is to the camera, sorry guys. And I'm not using my microphone today. I forgot all about it because I didn't plan on making a video. So you can use this in any application where you would use water, like to make rice. You could put it in to boil noodles. I wouldn't use it that way personally, just because to me it's like liquid gold. So let me try to pull out this bone or 2 here and show you. Yeah. So there is quite a bit of meat left, and then I do this without having a disaster. Here are the bones that just fell apart, and they are clean as a whistle, guys. So all of the gelatinous goodness came out of it. So when this broth cools, it's not going to necessarily be as thin in an unheated state, because it does have the gelatin from the bones and it was pressured for so long. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw a little bit on the floor, which you do not want to do. Oh, goodness. Let me scooch this back. Yeah, that's better. And we can, how do we turn this off? Cancel. There we go. We can actually dish up this broth. Now, there is some fat. I can see, even though it's melted, there is some fat in this broth. And once it cools, that will rise to the top, and you can quite simply skim it off if you don't want to consume it. Or it is tallow or beef fat, so you could save it for a cooking fat. I always feel good about using a product in as many ways as I can. So bones, and I did pay for the bones. They weren't free. The butchers are on to us, guys. They know all about bone broth. But still, I'm not only going to get the good out of the bones, I'm actually going to use the meat as well. And I'm probably going to make just some beef and noodles. So here we have, look at this gorgeous, woo, hot broth. And you can already see the fat is rising to the top. What I will do is I will leave this at room temperature for a little bit. I will skim off, and yes, I will save that fat. I didn't get to be this size from dieting, just saying. Now let's see if we can take out that inner liner. Oh yeah. I did leave a few peppercorns in the bottom. So we'll try to stop before we dump those in, but it's not going to hurt anything if we do. Yeah. There's a lot of garlic in that. Ooh, yum. So that's what little bit, oops, sorry guys, that I have left in the Instant Pot that I'm not going to utilize. And not 2 full quarts, obviously, because we only use 6 cups of water, but quite a bit of return for our efforts this morning, plus all this delicious beef that I'm going to go ahead and clean while it is hot. The veg probably won't have much taste, but it would be good just to include it. I'm not going to throw it away. All right, stay tuned for some final thoughts. We are all cleaned up in time to do the Azure drop. And I have to tell you all, I did taste the meat that came off of the soup bones was what I used. And it is really good. It's like a roast type meat. So I will definitely be eating that. Y'all look at the beautiful color. And there is some fat, but not a tremendous amount rising to the top. So I will just let those cool off and skim off that tallow. Drop me a comment below. How do you all make your bone broth? Do you use an Instant Pot, a pressure cooker? Do you just do what I often do and boil the carcass or the bones for long hours, like 24 hours? This was so much easier, and I really feel like I got more out of the bones as clean as they came out. So I'm interested to hear. If you haven't already, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd smash that like button. I hope your Christmas preparations are going well. I will see you all next week with some brand new content, hopefully then on Tuesday. But until I see you again, be healthy, be well, be blessed, take care.